In today's topic, we learn how to begin the conversation and the preparation that will inevitably be needed as a parent begins to age. Join us as we explore together preparing to care for an aging parent. Hi, and welcome to My Aging Parent by Seniority. My Aging Parent offers practical advice and sensible solutions for those tackling common age-related issues. My name is Cindy Moore, and I will be your host for today's episode. As parents age, the traditional roles that exist between themselves and their adult children begins to swap. This is a slow and gradual process and normally does not happen all at once. As a way of smoothing out this transition, it's a good idea to be proactive and initiate a conversation about aging before issues become problems. But at what age should you begin this conversation? Sooner than you think. You want to be able to have an open dialogue before the thought of aging becomes threatening to the parent. What does that mean? Well, parents can get more defensive about their capabilities when they feel those capabilities decline. So they may begin to have fears about being moved out of their homes. If you wait until that point, you may have some uncomfortable conversations. Typically, just before a parent retires or just before Social Security or Medicare begins is a good time to begin having conversations about aging. However, before you initiate the conversation with your parent, it's a good idea to start the conversation with siblings and with loved ones so that everyone can be on board and so there's a consensus on everyone's role as that parent ages. If there are siblings, determining who is to be the chief communicator will help to prevent frustration and confusion going forward. By establishing a key contact, the parent or parents will soon begin to adapt to the expectation of who to call when needs arise. That one key contact can then broadcast needs and issues to the others in the group. This will help tremendously with things like transportation, medication, and illness. Having one key communicator will also produce better rapport with health professionals and can even help those health professionals provide better care to the aging parent. But just because one sibling is the communicator elect does not mean that all of the care responsibilities and decisions should be put on this one individual. And just because someone is charismatic and they're a good communicator does not necessarily mean that they have the best organizational skills to help with some of the administrative tasks that will ultimately become part of the aging parent's needs. Evaluating personal strengths and designating duties based on those strengths will help to reduce the stress of the family members as an aging parent's needs become more demanding. Remember, this is just a loose conversation about dealing with concerns should they arise. It is not a written in stone, hard cast plan. Because every aging person's path is unique to that person, and the idea is to begin the process. It's not to figure everything out all at once. So, once you've had a chance to open the conversation with siblings and loved ones, it's time to sit down with the parent. Now, the thing here is that most likely this conversation is not always going to be a welcome one. Your parent or parents probably aren't in the least bit interested in relinquishing their decisions to you or your siblings. So, don't be surprised if they don't fully appreciate the conversation. In fact, it's important to go into the conversation as casually and as non-threatening as possible. But be honest. Let them know that you want to make sure that as they age, their needs will be met and their wishes will be respected. Because that is the entire goal of the whole conversation. If it is comfortable and possible, try to establish a call or visit frequency. In many cases, aging parents' needs can arise quickly, but are unseen by those around them because those around them have busy lives. Aging parents have a difficult time expressing deficiencies, so setting up routine visits and calls can help you to become familiar with their everyday patterns and practices so that you and your loved ones can understand what your parents' normal is. Again, The goal here is to begin the habit of having some good practices so that those practices are already in place as the parent ages and as their needs begin to change. So it just becomes a natural progression that happens smoothly. Keep in mind that your parent's role isn't the only role that is changing. Your role as an adult child will also change. In order to help you better prepare yourself for this new upcoming role change, there are some simple steps that you can begin to take to help prepare yourself for it. 1. Set up favorites. If you haven't done this already, be sure to set up your parents' and siblings' phone numbers as favorites in your cell phone so that those numbers will always be quick to access and so that your phone will ring even if you have Do Not Disturb hours set up. 2. Evaluate your parents' support system. Get names and phone numbers of their close friends and become familiar with groups that the senior parent is involved with. Book clubs, bridge groups, church clubs, senior centers, if those are things they are regularly involved with. 3. Learn the medications. Find out what the medications are and what each medication is for. Understand what the medication schedules are. Be aware of any medication allergies. And always keep a written list of these medications somewhere and keep it up to date. My mom likes to text, so I have my mother text me her list. She usually writes it down on a piece of paper and then clicks a photo of it and sends it to me via text message. 4. Find out who the medical providers are. Write a list of all medical providers, what type of provider they are, and what they are treating. You may notice that the list of providers grows as your parent ages. You will also likely notice that the frequency of care appointments increases as your parent ages. So you want to make sure to become familiar with their medical history as it changes. 5. Don't forget about other important key people. Your parent may have religious beliefs or be involved with a spiritual group that has deep meaning to them. If so, try to find out where they attend and who to contact should a need arise. Once you begin to have an open dialogue with your parents, your siblings, and other key loved ones, the process of preparation will be well underway. By starting early, before problems arise, and by communicating your willingness to care when care is needed, will help you and your parents prepare for any new challenges that may arise as your parents begin to experience those age-related issues. The goal here is that your journey and their journey will be one that is smoother and more enjoyable and less stressful. Well, that does it for this episode of My Aging Parent by Seniority. Remember, everyone's situation is unique, and the things that we discussed may or may not work out for your current circumstance. We encourage you to seek out guidance from professional resources and from those around you that have been in your shoes. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking on the big red subscribe button. That will help us to deliver our message to more people. Enjoy the journey, my friend.